Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to Life on the Wrist. Hope you guys are doing well today. Today we're going to be looking at a video. We're going to be reacting to a video that the Hourglass recently released. The reason why we're doing this is because it is about one of our favorite independent watch companies, MB&F, and it's specifically about Max Büsser. Essentially, Hourglass is going to be releasing short videos and short films, what they call a short film, about some of the world's leading contemporary artists as well as independent watchmakers, and Max Büsser was actually the first person that the Hourglass did this for and is releasing. So what we're going to be doing is we're reacting to the video. I'll put a link in the description to this video so you can check it out. Also, thank you so much to the Hourglass for releasing this video. This was really insightful for me. I learned some very interesting things about it, so I'm gonna put it on and give you my thoughts about it. But thank you for doing this. This was really cool, a really cool series, and I'm happy that I was able to watch it. So this one is called Maximilian Büsser, Making Machines Come to Life by the Hourglass. So what we're going to do is put it up on the screen and react to it.
When I was doing my studies as an engineer, I didn't know what to do any after that. And I was actually going to work for one of the big corporations, Procter & Gamble, Nestle, etc. And by an incredible chance, and I really believe in karma, an incredible chance, I met the CEO of Jaeger-LeCoultre, who actually offered me a job. And I fell in love with it. And I found a family, I found a passion, and I just gave myself to it. So I'm 22 when I discover watchmaking. And then 23, just at the end of my studies, but not completely at the end, I took a sabbatical and went into the army. And I had, after 2 months, a pretty horrendous accident where I should have died. My Jeep was overturned at 50 kilometers an hour. I was ejected. I fell luckily on the grass, and the Jeep finished its roll on my back. For whatever reason, I survived. And so after 6 weeks of hospital and having physiotherapy, I jumped on a bus and I went up to this little watch store. I had been drooling in front of their showcase about this Abel chronograph in steel. We're talking of 30 years ago. And it had the El Primero movement, and I'd wanted that watch. And I went in and asked if they're going to give me a discount. And they said no. I said okay, and bought that watch. And I asked the lady to put it on to my wrist and went back home. And I was so happy. It was my celebration. I was still alive.
Okay, so 2 minutes, 10 seconds in. This is obviously a really incredible start. The first thing that I want to mention is I actually had no idea about the details of the accident that Max was in. I knew that the accident happened, and that's why, that's how we kind of got into watches. And he had been researching watches a little bit and had seen that watch previously. And I know he had the accident and then ended up going actually in casts to the store to buy it. But I didn't actually know that he fell out of the Jeep and the Jeep rolled onto him. This does bring about a question: what the heck were they doing? This is the Swiss Army, and I know that the Swiss Army, obviously there is mandatory service that you have to partake in. I don't really know what they were doing, but again, a really tragic accident, not something that you would wish on anyone. And I'm so glad that Max survived so that he could create MB&F. Another thought that I had was that I've actually never seen.
It was interesting because I come from an environment where
so really
nobody has money and nobody understood why I put all my savings into that mechanical watch. And everybody's like, why would you do that? But I knew why. And I think that's something which you can find now in the whole process of MB&F. The emotional attachment to our pieces is incredibly important, and I think it comes from the fact that this incredible amount of emotions we put in it. You love it, you hate it. And if you love it, you really love it. I've become more or less schizophrenic in my creative process.
Oh, yeah.
Meaning the horological machines are my psychotherapy. I go and revisit mostly my childhood. So you'll see planes because I used to make model airplanes. You'll see spaceships because I was Han Solo. You will see cars because I dreamt of being a car designer. And more recently, it's also other things which have happened to me. We created the aquapod because my wife got stung by a jellyfish, and I was looking at these jellyfish thinking they would be incredible mechanical robots if we actually processed them that way. And then you've got legacy machines. And that's what amazes a lot of people, is like, how can this creator be actually creating such different objects? Legacy machines are my way of saying thank you, because I worship 19th, 18th century watchmaking. It is so beautiful. I mean, the greatest creations, the greatest creators in our industry were 200 years ago. Those were the geniuses.
All right, so 4 minutes in, I just want to stop right here really quickly just to discuss my love for both lines. I think it's interesting how he actually describes how horological machines came about, how it's about things that he experienced in his past. I actually watched a Instagram live video of him and Waco from Revolution Watch, and Max was saying that initially it wasn't that he would say, oh, I remember using this spacecraft when I was a kid, let me make something that resembles it. He actually said he made the piece and then found out that it actually mimicked something that he had in his childhood. So it was almost subconsciously he was connecting his childhood with the pieces that he's making. I think more recently, like the jellyfish, which he mentioned, the aquapod, he does create pieces from designs or things that he's seen in his life. I think the bulldog, which is most recently released, I made a video about that where we kind of give you the details about it. You can check that out on our channel. But I think that's also another example of where he's not making the watch first and then figuring out the experience. He's experienced something and then making the watch. The legacy machine is obviously my favorite line. My dream piece is a legacy machine number 1. And he describes how he believes that 18th and 19th century watchmaking, that was the era where geniuses of this industry were about, which I completely agree with. Interestingly enough, I actually believe that now the geniuses are in the independent watch companies and they're creating pieces like the horological machines. I think that's a really cool thing because you can kind of see he respects 18th and 19th century watchmaking, and now he's actually living and breathing.
And when I look at that, I want to say thank you. So legacy machines are my tribute to the people who made me fall in love with watchmaking. So they're more classic, they're more cerebral. As a creative process, it's completely different. Horological machines come from my guts. Legacy machines come from my brain. So one is free, is crazy, is scary, and the other is thought, processed. It's probably who I am. I only understand that sometimes I'm happy after maybe 2 weeks of working on a project, or maybe 5 years of working on it. And until I am happy, I will consider it's not beautiful. But you know the good old saying, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I don't know if I create something which is beautiful, but it's something I love. And that's the most important for me. The pieces I'm the most proud of are those I was the most terrified of. Those where I was thinking, nobody's ever gonna buy this. And I still went ahead. And there's an incredible feat which has happened, is that every time I've been terrified, it's been our biggest successes.
All right, just 5:30 before he gets into the Opus. I think it's incredible that someone can create something as unique as a horological machine and something as classic and thoughtful as a legacy machine. I think it's a testament to how incredible Max is as a creator and an innovator for the industry.
The Opus project at Harry Winston was created solely initially to help a friend. It was François-Paul Journe, who is one of the greatest watchmakers today. And 20 years ago, he just launched his brand and nobody knew about him. And at some point I said, we should do something together. Harry Winston, F.P. Journe, we can tell the world how incredibly talented you are. We can be a loudspeaker for you. And it started like that. There was no great marketing scheme idea. It was let's help a friend. And that's the absolute best example of karma. Initially, when we launched Opus 1, no one understood it. The press, the clients, the retailers, and everyone was like, what is this story? Why are you crediting that person? Why are you talking together? And I think often you realize that most great ideas, when they come up, they're usually misunderstood at the beginning, until at some point you realize that's something special.
All right, 640 in. I think what he did with the Opus collection really was the beginning of what he wanted to do with MB&F. Obviously, F.P. Journe is now an extremely well-known watchmaker, and everyone wants to get their hands on an F.P. Journe because of the amazing quality of their pieces, and actually just simple beauty. But now he actually is bringing to light other watchmakers within the watch industry who collaborate with him on the pieces that they're making. I know, Jean-François Mojon is someone who he's collaborated with in the past. There's a lot of other watchmakers that he's done that too. I think Opus really did stand his
A big part of MB&F is about giving back. And if you look at our Mad Gallery, that's exactly that. It's helping these incredible kinetic or mechanical artists who cannot find any galleries or interested in them. So not only am I in love with what they do, but I'm helping people who don't have a house. And the fact of giving back today has become an enormous part of who I am. I have no idea where we're going. And that would have been something which would have been a horrible nightmare for me 20 years ago, in uncertainty. And it's an incredible pleasure today. So what I've understood over the years is that I have no idea what weird, crazy idea is going to come into my head and what's going to happen to me. And I've embraced that. I've embraced the fact of not knowing where we're going. I love the fact that I have no idea. What I do know is that the fundamentals will never move. Respect, honesty, integrity, creativity, working with people I love, that's not going to change. But in which direction we're going to go, I don't know.
Such a cool car.
We live at MB&F as artists. And an artist doesn't have plans and trajectories and objectives. I don't think he should. I think an artist should let himself be free and wake up tomorrow morning and have a different idea. All I know is that when it feels right, it is right.
Well, I mean, what an incredible way to start this series off. Just on that last little bit, I think that Max has really evolved as a person. He says it himself that, not having an idea what's going to happen in the future it would have scared him when he was 22, 23, 24. But now he embraces it, and that's what makes him an artist, because all they do is create. I can't say, I think this is an absolutely phenomenal way to start this little series, Hourglass. Having Max is an incredible storyteller, and having him do the first of this series is an absolutely incredible way to set the bar for the type of content that you guys are going to release for these. So what a really cool video. I personally just want to say thank you, Max, for everything that you do with MB&F. I really hope that I can become part of the MB&F tribe one day. I think you really are pushing watchmaking forward, and I look forward to seeing the other types of creations that you end up coming up with. I hope you spoke about the Mad Gallery and how you want to give back to the artists who don't have a voice or a platform. I want to say I've never actually been to a Mad Gallery, but it is one of my life dreams to actually go to one of those galleries. So hopefully that will be in the near future. If you like these types of videos, let me know in the comment section below. Let me know what you thought about this video, about Max's talking about MB&F and his journey. Would love to hear your comments on that. Also, if you didn't do it in the beginning of the video, and I don't think I actually said it this time, be sure to hit that like button for us if you like these types of videos. Also, just smash that like button for MB&F and Max for all the good that he's bringing to watchmaking. If you like these types of videos, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And with that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time.